cuties, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. Today is Friday, yay, September the 2nd, 2022. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give it like a 8.5. It was good to me today. It was a lot of interesting information that we already been talking about, but still, Days is always solid. All right, let's go right into it. And listen, Nicole, Chloe says she got problems of her own, and she's already dealing with a woman that won't let her past go. And here you go bringing her this about Eric. And Chloe is just like most of us. Nicole, you are a newlywed. You are a newly married woman. What Eric does, who Eric sleeps with, has nothing to do with you. Do I like Eric and Nicole together? Yeah, I do. But like, y'all about to hurt some people for no reason when you could have just not rushed and married Rafe. You could have stayed doing this little two-step that you and Eric love to do with each other. When you're together, you're apart. You're together, you're apart. When as soon as you found out after too late he had got out the priesthood, just like EJ said, and everyone else said, had you known, you would have made a different decision. But Nicole is sitting over here stressed about Eric and Jada. She says she has a right to be concerned about, her friend. And I said, she don't want to hear it, but girl, Eric is a grown man. He realizes that he's sleeping with Jada. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he chose to be intimate with her. Why are you so concerned? And we all know it's because you still have those feelings for Eric. And truth be told, if you hadn't married Rafe, you and Eric would probably be together right now because y'all both want to be together. And so she tells Chloe that Jada told her about her and Eric being together because she said, I told her, y'all just met and y'all sleeping with each other or whatever. And you asked. And Chloe said, girl, I am embarrassed. I cannot believe you asked this and everything. And she said, well, why? And she said, because who does that? Who asks what's going on with two grown people, especially you, girl? But Nicole sees nothing wrong with this. I spent too much time on this anyways. But it just puzzles me. Like, you know what? At the end of the day, Rafe is gonna get hurt, and so is Jada. And it makes no sense. I don't know why y'all just couldn't put Nicole and Eric together and not have this. Oh, but Nicole did say, well, if I lied about my dream, don't you think Eric did? And Chloe said, girl, just call this man and ask him. I don't know what else to tell you. Just call him and ask him. So then we see Jada and Rafe. And so she tells him, I'm not going to hold you long, but she tells him, I don't know about it, Gwen doing this. And he said, I interviewed Gwen. Like, I took Gwen's statement. And my gut's telling me she didn't do this. He said, but Task wants somebody convicted or whatever. So I guess we're going to have to, we can still investigate, but we're going to have to do it on the low and act like we're getting information on Gwen. And she said, okay, cool. Jada with it. Because she like, I don't know. She said, ain't no telling what Leo is out there doing. She said, because it feels like he just threw Gwen under the bus so he can free himself. And that's exactly what Leo did. He going to regret that mess. But anyways, so then we see that Jada asks Rafe about, she tells him that she's with Eric or whatever, and she said, doesn't that feel kind of incestuous? He said, no. He said, Nicole was married to a man that I was and then that man was married twice to a girl that I was married to. He said some mess. I said, I'm confused. Like, and I don't even know who I don't even want to know who it was. But anyways, hold on, sister. But anyways, I was just like, oh, that is a miss. And she said, well, I guess in Salem, you just got to get used to leftover after leftover. You not leftovers, Nikki. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. You got to get used to that people have passed or whatever. And they got romantic history with a few people. That's why I be confused sometimes when somebody be like, okay, this person come in the town. Wait a minute. Are you with your cousin? Like, y'all got that kind of stuff going on. Double kin. That's what they call it in the South. Double related, related on both sides. That y'all got that kind of mess going on in Salem. And she said basements, secret tunnels and all this. This is weird. But anyway, so she tells him about, so she says, He says, no, everything will be fine. And he said, unless you think Nicole cares? And she was like, no, no. And he was like, no, what is it? You was about to say something. She was like, no, if she don't tell him or whatever, but Rafe, no. So then Stephanie and Alex are talking or whatever, and she turns him down again. She don't want anything to do with him, and I'm not gonna hold you long because there wasn't much to that. So then we see Stephanie and Eric talk, and she once again is telling somebody about Alex, and I said, girl, for you not to like him, you sure are telling a lot of people about him. But anyway, so she's at Brady's pub. Is it Brady's pub? Yeah, she's at the pub or whatever. And she's telling Eric about everything, and he telling her about Jada, and she said, well, I can't wait to meet her and everything. I'm not gonna hold you long because it wasn't much. So then she and Jada meet, and she said, wait, you're Marcus' daughter? She was like, yeah. And she said, I'm Stephanie, Kayla and Roman's Kayla and Steve's daughter. She said, I was at your 8th birthday party, and they like, oh my God, Stephanie. They know each other, and they was like, let's hook up. I said, oh, it's not, I'm glad Jada gonna have a friend, because she needs a female friend. She needs a woman that is a friend, so that she can, gibby gabby with. You know what I mean? So then we see Eric and Jada talking. She said, yeah, you had to talk to Nicole, and that just turned out weird and everything. So I'm just gonna cool it. And he like, nah, let me get you some grilled cheese and all that kind of stuff. Cause he's like, it's nothing with me and Nicole. And she like, okay. And so then when she was about to sit down with him, she get a phone call and she said, I gotta go. And so then Rafe is with Stephanie, and Stephanie said, oh, that's a much better hug, because she was like, that fake Rafe was all over me or whatever. She said, somebody else will know. I said, you about to tell Rafe about Alex too, girl? Now Stephanie. Now Steph, girl, you surely is mentioning his name a lot, not to warn him. You sure are talking about him a lot. Hey ma'am, can I talk to the people? Thank you. You sure are talking about him a lot, not to warn him, so I can't tell. But we're gonna go on and see what it happened, because then Rafe get a phone call and it's Chad, and Chad say, you gotta get over here. No, was it Chad? No, it was a detective or somebody tell him that Sonny had been stabbed, so he goes over there. So then we see Bunny. So we see Bunny and Justin. They trying to enjoy, like a little romantic time and everything, and they can't even, because yes, Mila, they can't even enjoy their little romantic time together because Alex, I'm not gonna hold you long. Alex comes in, and so they try to enjoy their little romantic moment and stuff. And Alex comes in, talking about Stephanie. Hold on, y'all. Mila is on one right now. Whoo, child, sorry about that. But anyways, they can't even enjoy their little romantic time together because Alex came in talking about Stephanie and how he all heartbroken because Sonny won't let him be with the girl. And move away from the mic. And so he won't let him be with the girl. And they're like, well, Justice says Will has sexual harassment lawsuits and all that, so we understand why. And Bunny said, not me. You go after her, Alex. You got to be happy. She said, now, Justin, if I hadn't kissed you, would you be upset? He said, I mean, of course it worked out. He said, but I understand. Sonny is the CEO and he has to protect the company. So then we see where Leo comes back into the office and he sees Sonny, right? And he's like, oh my God, because Sonny is on the ground and everything. He's like, oh my God, Sonny. And so he's like, oh my gosh, Sonny. And, he wants to help him, but he was like, I can't touch the knife, and it's best that you didn't pull that knife out because he might have really started bleeding because he was already bleeding a lot. And so he says, I can't touch the knife and everything because if I touch the knife, then my fingerprints will be all over it and they'll think I did it. But he says, what do I do? And he says, Sonny, you're dead. And then Sonny moans or groans and he says, oh my gosh, you're alive. So seeing that Sonny was alive, he was like, let me call the ambulance. And right as he was about to do it, Chad walks in. And Chad's like, what in the world? And he's like, what did you do? And Leo was like, listen, he was like that when I came in. I didn't do anything. And so then Chad tries to stop the bleeding by putting his coat around Sonny. He says, he's still alive. He said, I know. And Chad said, call the ambulance. And so Sonny's like, okay, I'm calling. So he runs and he calls the ambulance and everything, right? And so then we see Chad calls Bunny, Alex, and Justin and lets them know that Sonny has been stabbed. And so they're like, go to the hospital. So they go into the hospital and everything. And then when Chad told Sonny to um go check on the ambulance. Well, where's the ambulance? Not Sonny. He told Leo to check on the ambulance and stuff. I guess Leo makes a break for it after that too, but he does. The ambulance does come, and so then Rafe gets there, and Chad is still there, and he says, "I need to ask you a few questions." Because Chad is reliving. Because Abigail was not dead when Chad got to her; she was still able to talk a little bit and she was still alive. So this is like reliving it all for Chad. And so then Rafe is asking him questions and he tells him Leo Stark was over Sonny or whatever. And he said, what? And so then Chad is at the hospital and Stephanie is there and she just embraces him because that's their cousin and they cannot believe this is happening. And so when he sees that, Alex comes in while they're embracing and he sees that. And of course he thinks the worst because they're hugging and stuff. So he knows it's bad. And so then we see Jada and Rafe talking. He tells her, you were right about Leo. And she was like, what do you mean? He says, we have Leo's hit list as well as the weapon, like the knife that was in Chad's back is the same knife that killed Abigail. So they're thinking that Leo did this or whatever. And so then Leo, he made a break for it back to his hotel room or whatever. And he was like, what? Oh my gosh, that was the same. How could that happen? He was like, that was the same knife. He remembered. He's like, that was the steak knife. He said, and why was my list there? And I never scratched out Sonny's name or whatever. And he was like, oh my God, I'm being framed. I don't know who framing you, baby, because again, some of us said it might be Craig. It could possibly be someone else who's framing him, but we don't really know. But anyways, guys, that was Days of Our Lives. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow, Monday, for new episodes. Thank you for watching.